So, Superman Brainiac. It's one of the earliest stories during Geoff Johns' Action Comics run. It's written by Geoff Johns, of course, and penciled by Gary Frank. And this is a post-Infinite Crisis, which means that the DC continuity was changed yet again. And in this storyline, we basically see that Superman has never really fought Brainiac before. This is kind of a change to the continuity in the sense that Brainiac is this bioorganic being that lives on this ship, and instead of leaving his ship, he sends all of these different probes. Some of them are organic, some of them are not organic, to go to all of these sorts of different worlds. They basically create force fields around the hearts of each of these planets. They basically shrink the planets into these like small energy field bottles. They bring them onto the Brainiac ship, and then they cause a sun to go supernova and destroy the rest of the planet because Brainiac has the most important city of that civilization, and he doesn't need the rest of the planet, and he doesn't want to leave any witnesses behind. So this is a really interesting idea. You know, the fact that Superman has never really fought Brainiac, and this is the first time he's actually meeting face-to-face with him. Now, it's kind of a retcon, but it's such an interesting idea, and it's so well executed here that I really don't care. The storyline really deals with Superman's relationship with his cousin Supergirl. It kind of deals with his relationship with Kryptonians and his whole thoughts on his culture. Like, Superman knows a lot of stuff about Kryptonian culture, but he doesn't know what he's missing. Like, he's never really felt like he's missed anything. You know, he's had Jonathan and Martha Kent raise him. He has his wife Lois, who they were still married here. He has his friends at the Daily Planet. He has his fellow superhero friends like Diana and Batman. And so he's never really felt like he's sort of missed anything in his life. And now he's sort of given the chance to finally meet his people, because it's revealed by Kara that Brainiac assaulted Kandor City, which was the heart of Krypton back in the day when it was still there. They basically attacked the city, they murdered a lot of people, and they basically shrunk the city down to like this small energy field bottle, took it up to Brainiac's ship, and then they disappeared. It's later revealed that Brainiac actually ended up destroying Krypton. And I thought this was such a fascinating idea, and Geoff Johns actually finds a good way to keep the plot holes away, because there was this one instance where I wondered, well, if Kandor was the only one preserved, like, how is Supergirl even alive? Because they weren't in Kandor when that happened. They were actually in Argo City. And it's revealed that Kara's parents were in Argo City during the incident, and they were basically reverse engineering Brainiac's tech before he blew up the sun. And they actually managed to find a way to save the, Argo City from being blown up, you know. Brainiac sensed his technology. He got that city down there as well, and so it basically covers its bases. You know, a lot of people may hate this storyline because it's kind of retconny, but it's such an enjoyable and interesting idea with Brainiac and Superman that I really don't care. Geoff Johns immediately shows us that he has a great voice for all the characters. His Clark Kent is really, really fantastic. His Superman is awesome. I love his Superman and Clark Kent. Lois Lane, she's this very sort of... She's kind of like this big sister to Supergirl in this story. Supergirl is like... She's still dealing with being on Earth, you know. Unlike Clark, she grew up on Krypton. She knows that whole culture and stuff, and she still misses it. And, you know, she really can't get close to anybody because she thinks that if she does, all of it's going to be taken away from her. And Brainiac is the personification of this. Like, she was there when Kandor was basically being completely destroyed, and she saw all of the destruction Brainiac brought on Kandor, and it really frightened her. And it's a really interesting relationship the two of these have. Like, Lois is kind of like her big sister, and she's like the little sister that's kind of dealing with a lot of problems of her own, and she's really, you know, there for her. And I really liked her Lois Lane. You know, her banter with Clark is fantastic. But the character he gets down the best, in my opinion, is Jonathan Kent. You know, Clark's last scene together with Jonathan Kent before he died in this story was just so it was just so awesome. Jonathan basically recollects all the times, Clark has done all these amazing things when he was a kid. Like one time they played baseball and Clark hit the ball so hard he set it clear across Smallville, or one time he ran alongside Jonathan's truck and he actually destroyed his shoes while he was doing it. And then they basically have that nice little scene in the book. And I just thought that was so amazing, and it just made his death at the end really great. And his death is probably the best part of the whole book, because Brainiac, basically tells him, you've destroyed my home, you've basically have done me nothing but trouble. And then he tries to kill Jonathan and Martha. He basically sends this bomb to blow up their house. Jonathan manages to get them away, but then he has a heart attack. And then just at that same moment, Superman is basically releasing Kandor in the Arctic next to the Fortress of Solitude, and then he's just like awestruck. He's so happy that he's finally going to be able to meet his own people again. And then you just have this last page where Superman's like rushing to see his dad, but then it's too late because he can't do anything. And it's a really amazing ending to this book, because it shows that while Superman is capable of a lot of things, he can't stop everything. He can't stop a simple heart attack. He may seem like a god to a lot of people, but in the end of the day, he's not. He has weaknesses too, and there are things he simply can't do either. And it's just a really, really fantastic ending to this whole book. And I really have nothing bad to say about this. I mean, Gary Frank's art is absolutely spectacular. Gary Frank and Geoff Johns, along with Geoff Johns and Ivan Reyes, these guys are sort of constantly partnered up with Geoff Johns on certain books. I think his art is absolutely phenomenal here. I love the way he draws Superman in here. I love the way he draws Brainiac. It's probably my favorite Brainiac design ever. It's just a really, really fantastic story. It's like only 5 issues. It costs about $20. But it's well worth it. Like, this is one of those Superman stories everybody should read. I don't know if it's in continuity anymore. I don't think it is, which is a big shame. But I still think you should check out this story. It's easily one of the best Superman stories I've ever read, and if the rest of Geoff Johns' run is as good as this, I'm definitely going to be checking it out, because the ideas here show that he has a lot of cool ways to do. He knows how to put cool twists on established characters. He takes full advantage of the post-Infinite Crisis world, and he makes a damn good story out of it. And so, really, I just love this book. I gotta give this a 10 out of 10. There was absolutely nothing I didn't like here. I thought all of the ideas were great. I thought the ending was fantastic. I thought the way he wrote all of the characters was fantastic. Their interactions were just hysterical. And there's just nothing wrong with this story. This is probably one of the few 10s I would give. And it's just a fantastic Superman story. Easily one of the few ones that I've actually liked, along with Man of Steel, the movie, and the Earth 1 books. And I highly recommend you guys check this one out. I'm going to actually leave a link down in the description for you guys to buy this sucker, because it's awesome. And the pace, oh yeah, and I did mention the pace. The pace of this is absolutely perfect. It's 5 issues, and I love this. I hate long as shit storylines. I absolutely hate them. I love stories that last 4, 5, or 6 issues. This lasts 5, and the pacing of it is just fantastic. There's a great mix of character interaction, of action, of dialogue. It's just the complete Superman package. Honestly, I kind of hope the Man of Steel 2 adapts the storyline, because I think you could do a lot of fantastic stuff with this version of Brainiac, and I really hope this is adapted into a movie. I've watched the animated movie. It's alright, but the book is far, far superior, and I hope in the new DC cinematic universe they actually adapt the storyline sometime in the future. They don't have to directly adapt it, but I could totally see it working down the line in one of the Man of Steel films. So yeah, 10 out of 10. I cannot recommend this one highly enough. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think everyone should read it, whether or not you're a Superman fan or not. I generally dislike Superman, and I just love the hell out of this one. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. Buy it now. You can check it out in the link in the description. And I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you later. Bye.